interesting with Ice Cube on stage. But I guess the biggest moment, the interesting moment of the night was what happened with SZA and Doechii when they got on the stage to accept their award. Doechii won the BET Her Award, and for Girl Get Up featuring SZA, and so they went on stage. They were excited. They were vibing with each other or whatever. And during their speech, it ended up getting the saxophone. Like what is it? Showtime at the Apollo. The Sandman. He would come out and then they would play the music and they would get you off the stage if you were fucking up, you did some bullshit, or if you were taking so long. And a lot of award shows do that. They don't necessarily use a saxophone, but they have music that ends up playing after a certain amount of time because they are on a time crunch at the end of the day. Like the show had to end at 11:30 on the dot, and they were running behind. I don't know if at that point they were running behind, but they are on a time crunch where they have a certain time allotted for the show. So they play the wrap up music. They do that at the Grammys. They do that at the Oscars. They do that at all award shows. But last night, Druski, playing on the Boys in the Hood trend, they had a saxophone, and he said it during the beginning of the show, like, you only got 30 seconds on stage. Get up there, say whatever it is that you wanted to say, and get the fuck off the stage. They were on the stage. They were up that bitch dancing. They were up that bitch telling each other they love each other and all types of shit. So I guess it was interesting that it happened to Doechii and SZA, given the Druski's ties to a certain person. So it just looks awkward. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it was intentional at all. If it was intentional, I will say that. But I don't think it was intentional. I think they were literally trying to stick to the time frame. It just unfortunate it was SZA and Doechii who it happened to, and they were the only ones it happened to. And plus, not a lot of people even accepted awards last night. I think maybe only 4 awards were accepted last night, and the rest of the other 3 were the lifetime achievement for like Sylvia Rhone, Lauryn Hill, and Tiana Taylor. Those were the only other 2 times a person got on the stage and said anything, and it was reasonable for them to have a longer time allotted for them because they were getting icon awards. They were getting the big awards of the night. So me personally, I don't think it was intentional. Yanni said, I think it was intentional. Yanni, why do you think it was intentional? I don't think it was intentional. I guess I just don't appreciate how they were handled. How were they handled? I'm really trying to understand how were they handled. Because I feel like they handled it the same way everyone else was handled personally. Again, this is Druski. I'm not here to shoot this nigga no bell. I am not a fan of Druski. Love Doechii down. Love Doechii down. But I honestly don't think it was intentional. They were on stage longer than everybody else who did walk on the stage. And to be sure of that, I went to BET's YouTube page to confirm that. Hold on. Let me show you how long they were on the stage. So like I said last night, they barely had anyone accepting any awards, right? So when the people did come up there and accept awards, so the first person to accept an award last night was Leon Thomas, and he was only on stage for 30 seconds. That's how quick he was on stage. So there was no reason for them to turn the saxophone on for him, right? Because he was only up there for 30 seconds. Who else accepted an award? T.I. performed, Don Toliver, Kehlani performed. The next person to come on stage to accept an award was Kehlani, and she was only up there for 38 seconds. 38 seconds, she was up there. The next person to come, so Ray performed, and then Tiana Taylor went on stage and she accepted the Icon of the Year award, which we're going to talk about. So that took 5 minutes. So that's reasonable for Tiana Taylor to take 5 minutes because it's the big award of the night. It's an Icon award. And plus, they have to include the introduction from Janet Jackson. They have to show the footage. They have to show Tiana Taylor accepting her award. So it makes perfect sense why her time is longer. Then they also just uploaded a separate one for her speech. who else? French performed, and then here's SZA and Doechii. Their time is almost 2 minutes, y'all. It's almost 2 minutes. So someone said in the comments that it's two people, so they should have given them more time. So if it's 30, so if it's 30 to 40 seconds each person, right? So that's 30 to 40 seconds for Doechii, then another 30 to 40 seconds for SZA. They still went over the 1 minute and 46 seconds time. That's why to me it's like, yes, I would think maybe Druski is trying to be funny because of his ties to Drake, but if you look at the time frame, it makes sense. Also, Cardi B, she was up there for 55 seconds. Doechii and SZA got on there. They was up there dancing. They were dancing with Young Miami. They were stopping to tell each other that they loved each other. Doechii went on a full rant about her about to curse people out on her album when it dropped. So again, I don't think it was intentional. I think they literally was trying to get them off the stage because they had it a structured time frame. Personally, in my opinion. Now, I'm not mad if other people say, hey, I think it was intentional because of the drama and all of the connections and all of that. But personally, I don't think he did that intentionally. Plus, he's not in charge of the sound cue. He's not backstage handling production. He didn't say push the button. And again, I'm not here to fucking defend Druski, but I know how to use logic, if that makes sense. And that's no shade to say that anybody else isn't using logic, but I'm just saying, look at the math. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to kick Druski fucking back in. I would love to, but I personally don't think that was one of those moments. Again, Leon Thomas got on stage for 30 seconds. Kehlani was on stage for 38 seconds. SZA and Doechii were on stage for almost 2 minutes. Cardi B was on stage for less than a minute. You know? And I the only reason that it made me go back and look is because I remember hearing at the top of the show when he said, hey, you get your ass on this stage, it's gonna be 30 seconds and we're gonna play the saxophones for you. So again, I'm not just gonna come on here and just feed the narrative just to feed the narrative for the engagement. I'm gonna break it down and tell y'all what the truth is. Punch thought it was intentional. What Punch thinks doesn't make me shit. And to be honest, Punch has now deleted the tweets because he realized once he spoke to someone that it wasn't intentional. He reacted in the moment, which made everybody else react in the moment. Those tweets that he sent are now deleted because he had a conversation with someone behind the scenes and said, hey, no, we were just on a time crunch. We were trying to speed the show up. They literally only got to 5 awards last night because of all of the performances, all of the extra shit. We had to literally go online and look at the other winners because there was like 10 to 15 other awards that they didn't get to. And mind you, half the people were in the building. So those people didn't even get to go on stage. So now watch nobody will talk about this. You were the only one who broke it down like this, but they love calling people haters. Exactly. They love saying that I'm a hater and that I'm biased because I could have easily came on here and said, yeah, Druski's a fucked up person. He did that shit intentionally because he trying to kiss Drake ass. I could have easily came up here and did that, but that's not my shit, you know? I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it to see what actually makes sense. And it just unfortunately looks like they just went over the time because the girls were happy. The girls they were admiring each other. They were saying they love each other. Even they started dancing with Young Miami, having a little girl moment and all of that shit. So I get it. I get it. Period. Period, Aqua. It's still fuck Druski. Period. It's still fuck Druski. And I'm not here to defend that motherfucker, but I'm not gonna get up here and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm just not. The punches sometimes late and wrong, and that's what people don't be wanting to say out loud. Like there's been plenty of incidents where he's gotten it wrong. And it's okay because sometimes niggas just be wrong. You know what I mean? Niggas just be wrong at times. And I think he realized it after the fact because that's why he deleted the tweets. If he still actually believed that shit, he would have kept those tweets up. But the tweets ended up being deleted for a reason because he realized it was not intentional. They were just on stage longer than everybody else. Shout out to my fave, Miss Bynum. See, this why you moaning because I thought they did that on purpose. But looking at the footage right now, you're right. They were longer than anyone else. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And it's like they literally gave everybody 30 to 40, 45 minutes, right? A minute's tops, right? But they still, both of them went over. But I'm glad the girls won. The girls looked very beautiful last night. For those who didn't see the saxophone man, I am not gonna play these clips because I already got my ass into some shit last night, so I'm not gonna play these clips. But they both looked very beautiful, skin glistening. SZA looked amazing. Doechii looked amazing. I love the curly and the natural braids on both of them, and it's a well deserved win. Doechii did come out again while she was on stage and she was putting niggas on blast. She said her album is coming, her album is on the way. So you better be prepared for when she pop out. Because when she pop out, she's popping it.
This is my favorite black girl. I'm gonna keep my time. I just want to say new music is coming soon. And to all the haters that have nothing to say about me, you better be ready for me to pop back out because I'm coming with a new single and it's gonna kill everybody. What's up? Don't ever play with me.
It was up there a mess. But yeah, shout out to Doechii, man. Shout out to Doechii. Can't wait for her album to drop. I'm gonna be seated for sure. Definitely gonna be seated. What else do I have listed here? What else do I got? Oh, the tributes. We could talk about the tributes. How did y'all like the tributes last night? I think they did a pretty good job with the tributes. Personally, when they these are D'Angelo's children. With the scarf on his head, that's his son with Angie Stone. I'm not sure who the mothers are of these other two children, but this last little boy looks just like D'Angelo. Jesus Christ. He looks just like him. It's crazy.